Target Trading Academy.
Good afternoon, everybody. Preston Vogl here at Target Trading Academy with today's Micros Market Recap. Let's get right into it. It is after the close at 4:04 p.m. Eastern Time on Tuesday, August 15th. Now, if we just take a look at oil, well, we opened the gap down well below that close and the range for that matter, and we just never got to that close. We did get to the range low at the very least, and that was also correlated with that HVA edge that was what? Yes, drawn the night before, and they rejected going up any higher and then just came down and they settled around that region down there. So we are closing that down in oil once more. As far as gold goes, we also opened below yesterday's close, but barely inside that range. Pretty much when they had opened, you can see they dipped down and then enough volume just before it picked it up in that time. So I would say we did technically open down below it, even though that participation overall, right when that clock hit the time of the opening of gold, pushed us just ever so slightly above yesterday's range. That we really truly were down here. With that said, we hit that resistance from that contract low, and we hit it, went down, and then they fought it again, finally breaking through it, and then used it as support to ultimately test this HVA edge to get shot down once more to ultimately get to their close, and then they just melted down for the rest of the day. So we are finishing net down in oil, net down in gold, and we're going to be, spoiler alert, net down in the equities as well. As far as equities go, we opened inside of the range in the ES and the NASDAQ, gap down in the Dow, but we don't have that chart up. And you can see, if I just scroll back here, that we opened below the close. They opened right below this HVA edge, and they just never could quite get back up through it to get to the close. And so if they can't get up, well, they're either just going to go sideways or just go with that movement. And they did, and that's all we did for most of the day is just melt down. There were some good solid retracements and reversals, especially those reversals and inverses short. You can see those were solid potential entries for our students. But you can see this edge here, that prior low from the 11th. Well, that came back into play that first time, and they had, attempt to run up, hit that edge, got shot down. They fought that move down one more time, broke through it, and you can see they almost hit this HVA edge, but they turned around just slightly before it, and that's where we're finishing off in the day. Net down. Very similar story in the Nasdaq, never getting to yesterday's close, but they did have that move up towards it. You can see here, fighting this HVA edge, had some bleed through, and then they just dropped like a rock. So it took them a good 40 minutes or so to fight that HVA edge before the buyers gave up, so to speak. And then you can see just another down day, but those selling opportunities were quite presentable for our students there. You can just see the presentation. Ultimately, they never actually got below their range, unlike the ES and the Dow did. They came close to it. You can see when they got close to that edge there, which is still within that range, that they started turning around just before it, and that was a huge response if you were waiting for that. If you are interested in learning more information about these levels and how you can get them onto your charts the night before, feel free to ask what we do and how we do it. The way you're going to ask is if you can go to Facebook or our website. That would be targettrading.co. Get in touch with one of our consultants. They'll gladly show you what we do in our rooms each and every day. You can ask your questions to them, and they'll show you what we do, and you'll be able to see for yourselves why we are the #1 trading education company in the world. With that, I leave you. We'll see you next time.